Trevor, what's it like to be sitting here for title? Not many people thought you'd be doing that a few weeks back.
Yeah, it's, we came together probably 2 months out the season. We started playing really good basketball and we peaked at the right time. The guys is playing everything for each other. And it was really, telling out there on the court how we played as a team and shared the ball and making the extra pass and had each other's back defensively. So that's, pretty pleasing.
When do you think it was that this team really came together? Was it when you guys just said, we're going with this 11, that's it? Or when do you think it clicked?
Yeah, I think we probably didn't get the results straight away, but it was at that stage, there was a lot of speculation, a lot of doubt, and, outside noise. It was never any inside noise. And it was more so, hey guys, let's put this on the table right now that we're staying with 2 imports, and we don't care what the consequences. We believe in each other, and we battled through injuries as well. I think we had 18 games or something close to it where we had a player out, and most of the time they were starters. So just to go through that adversity really galvanised us together. And in the last month, the belief was just there. We had that knowing feeling in the locker room that we were going to win a championship. And these guys, played absolutely brilliantly in the last 2 games. We probably didn't play as well the second half of game 2, but the 3 games that before, we were great.
We've talked a lot about the moment where you did say we're staying with this group. We go back to even earlier when you just made the original decision to only go with the 2 imports. Why did you think you could win a title with only 2 and everyone else, and history says you need an extra one?
Yeah, you really don't know until the start of pre-season when you get everybody there. And it's just how the chemistry goes on the court. And look, I knew what Terrico could do, and I didn't want another import to compete with Bryce to get his, 15 shots. Bryce is our centrepiece of the table, and we needed support systems around that. And, we found out last year we didn't have that, and Terrico was a great support system, and then he won games off his own back. To have 2 guys out there that can produce under pressure and deliver on the big stage was a blessing for us, and we didn't need a 3rd guy to do that. And the chemistry within the group is number one. If you're coaching a team, I'll take less talent to have the chemistry in there, and the chemistry was first class.
Do you exceed your expectations now?
Well, yeah, we kept on reminding when we first had dinner met in Vegas, so said, I'll bring you one. So he backed it up. Terrico doesn't say much. It's if he raises his eyebrows, you're in a full conversation with him. And, he backed it up on the big stage. He was brilliant and well-deserved with the MVP.
Did you actually tell him you'd bring him a championship, or did you tell him you'd bring him an MVP?
No, actually I told him I can bring him a championship when I met him in Vegas. That's what I did.
He backed it up.
Terrico, what got you going in this series? Because it seemed like you really found your range right through this.
Pretty much the whole playoff, I've just been shooting with confidence. Early in the season, I was taking the same shots, but I was rushing my shots. I knew it was playoff time, so I needed to settle down, just play my game. Just have my teammates out with open looks, just making shots.
Damo, what's it like to have, I think it's 5 titles now? And particularly what's it like to do it today on the away floor here in Melbourne?
Yeah, it's amazing. Obviously, Melbourne won it last year. They got an incredible home court and, a sellout crowd tonight. So it's kind of the icing on the cake if you can win on the road, because then people can't just credit to home court advantage. But look, it's a special feeling to be able to win at home in front of your home crowd, to be able to have a taste of it on an away court. Today, at the end of the day, you've won a championship, so it doesn't really matter where you've done it. But going back to Terrico, I think he's downplayed how good of a season he's had. And one of the things people don't realise is, one stage I think he had a fracture in his knee, another stage his wrist was way worse than people ever knew about. So to battle through the regular season, only missing a handful of games, and then step up when it most counted, he's back-to-back grand final MVPs, whether it was in the Korean League last season and now the NBL. So yes, we were questioned about having a 3rd import, but the reality is we had 2 superstars, and then, you include guys like Nick Kay, Angus Brandt, Mitch Norton, whoever it may be. Everyone understood their role, they embraced it, and when it mattered most, they stepped up. And so this one's going to go down as a very special one, a roller coaster of a season, but finish off the way we'd wanted it.
You never told us you had a fracture there. You said he was fine.
You don't have to know everything.
It only comes out now.
How badly were you injured? Let's talk about what you actually had to overcome to play throughout this year.
A lot of things, man, but it didn't matter. It really didn't matter. I'm going to go out there and just give it all I can. I'm going to pretty much go to the wheels fall off.
and the risk? Like when you fell against Adelaide in the second last round of the year after you're already injuring it, did you do further damage that day?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, the game was a big game, so it didn't really matter if I would have broken it or not. I'm still gonna play.
Yeah.
I think he just missed a shot, so he blamed the rest
Yeah.
of
Today, you got out early, and then they got you back, and you
Right.
got out, and they got you back,
Yep.
and then you went.
Yep.
What did you think was the turning point for just storming away?
Yeah, it's the second period, they came back. I think we were 8 points up, and they came back to the lead, and then we had a little bit of foul trouble, and the bench came in. Greg Hire was great coming in there, just get the energy up, got big rebounds, and really wrestled that back in front for the half time, and then we knew that the third quarter they were going to come pretty hard. They hit a couple of 3-pointers off the backboard, but it's really trusting ourselves. Our defence has been, that's why we won a championship, has been on the back of the defence. And, hold Casper, well, this man over here, he's still the best defender in the league by a mile. To hold Casper to 2 of 9, 22% from the 3, and really take him out of the play for the whole series is, a long way why we won a championship.
Champions might be often there's storylines along the way. Your first game as a group, you were in America and you were absolutely flogged, and you must have been going, what the hell is this? And now you're here. Can you talk a bit about the journey from what you were thinking that night to what you're thinking today?
Yeah, I was thinking, oh my gosh, we made a mistake here. But look, we had Damo didn't play and Angus didn't play. Get walloped by Utah was a real awakening, and we had a meeting the next day and said, okay, well, what did we learn out of this? And we put a number of items down on the table, and we still have it up in the locker room today, just to remind us that when we play this way, we're pretty good. When we don't play it, we can get flogged. And that's leading into the playoffs here, is just to remind the guys, hey, we almost bet an NBA team when we play Wildcats basketball. It's, playing the right level. If we play that, we're going to be hard to beat. So, and the guys did that.
Trevor, it's now 4 titles in the past 6 seasons. Reflect back on that for a minute. How does that make you feel? And I guess, how does this one rank compared to the other ones?
Probably just the emotion still a bit. I'll get some clarity in the next couple of days where it ranks. So the first one's always special, and then the last game we had to win in Melbourne to make the playoffs. It was just a special time. And this is a team that's fought through adversity, through our injuries, and only having 2 imports in the league is not done. It's to get most talent, but the chemistry and came together at the right time of the year is something that I'll remember.
What do you think it is about this group that's enabled you to lift when you needed to? I mean, you've spoken about all the different injuries and guys that have been out, and the different, Mitch stepped up when Damo was out, and Terrico's obviously really lifted in this series. What is it about this team that's enabled you to do that all year long?
Look, to be honest, they let me coach them. It's not. There's no egos, individual egos. It's a team ego, and it's the guys put that aside. And sometimes I'm hard on, or sometimes I'm a little bit softer or gentler. But it's they're willing to learn and willing to believe in what we're doing. And when you have leaders, and we're going to miss Greg out there because he's such a good leader, locker room leader, and you got Damo. And Jesse and Greg has been there collectively for a long time, and it's the values and the culture that they instill every day. It's not flashy. It's not you must do this. It's just values every day that we practice, and then we get Terrico coming in and Nick and Mitch coming in. They buy into it straight away and say, well, I can play well here. I can really help this team, and we need them to play their role, and that's a big part of.
Damo, obviously you've lost since the last title, and now Greg's going to retire as well.
Sean
as well, exactly. With guys like Nick and Mitch coming in, kind of that next generation, do you feel like that you're still able to sustain that culture going forward, and it's in good hands?
Yeah, definitely. I think our biggest strength over the last 10 seasons was that core group that they initially brought in. You mentioned a few of the guys have since retired. Obviously Jesse and I are at the back end of our careers as well, and Tommy. But hopefully those guys play for a few more seasons, and then you look down the roster, and Mitch Norton and Nick Kay are 2 guys you build clubs around, and to have both of them on your team, it's a luxury that we have, and I dare say, I'd love to see them wearing a Wildcats jersey for the next 8 to 10 seasons, and then you bring in the pieces around those two guys and that culture, the 3 values we hold as our core values, the non-negotiable behaviours underneath each of them. That just passes from team to team, and as long as there's buy-in and good guys with leadership, I think the success will continue, and we'll build around those two.
Trevor, are you confident you'll be here next year?
Yeah, well, you're straight onto it, aren't you?
Yeah,
we just finished off the court.
You just won a championship. You don't get a contract. It's a natural question.
Yeah, well, you're right. The board said straight after the season, so we'll find out shortly, won't we?
Is your plan? Are you planning on being here next year?
Yeah, look, I've always said that I want to stay here. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we'll work that out in the next couple of days. I'll enjoy this for a little bit first.
Yeah, you deserve. You
Trevor,
deserve.
did you have Greg Hire in the back of your mind there as that clock's ticking down? One of the assistants. So
Yeah.
what about Greg? Or?
Yeah, no, I wanted to leave Greg on the floor, and I wanted Damo and Jesse and Greg to be on the floor at the end. If you're in the perfect world, you have that situation, and they've been such good teammates, and they love each other on the court, off the court. They're good mates, and to get that for these guys to share that one more time on the court together, I thought that was something worth doing.
Did you want to get Greg the free throws as well there?
Yeah. No, look, it was great. I was glad that Greg got to be on the court at the end. He was actually getting quite emotional at the free throw line. I even asked him last night, we were in the car together, I said, how are you feeling? And the reality is we didn't know if it was going to be his last name, and he said, I probably won't know until it's the end. And I was watching him as the free throws were occurring, and it kind of just in that moment you understand just how much the game's meant to him, wearing this jersey has meant to him. And obviously I'm biased, I'm a good friend of his and have been calling him best mate. So to know that we can send him out with a 4th championship, it really is the icing of the cake and a moment I'll never forget.
Confident you keep everyone apart from Greg next year?
Yeah, we'll go through that process. Yep. We've got to get the job first, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Good one. Thanks, Bruce.